Many of you probably have heard of the recent terrorist attacks that took place in Paris. In the aftermath of the attacks, there has been an increase in Islamophobia, which is basically hate crimes against innocent Muslim civilians. For example, calling names and physically abusing someone whose skin color, facial features, or the way they are dressed matches the definition of the American stereotype of who is classified as a terrorist. Islamophobia, as many of you know, became extremely, it saddens me to say this, but popular after the 9/11 attacks. Our parents, siblings, other family members, and loved ones face daily consequences for something we had not done. We, as followers of an entire religion, were being blamed for the extremists within that religion. And let me just tell you this with 100% guarantee that Islam as a religion does not promote violence against other individuals. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, our holy book, that whoever kills an innocent human being, it shall be as if he has killed all mankind. And whoever saves the lives of one, it shall be as if he has saved the lives of all mankind. Chapter 5, verse 32. I don't think anyone would say that it's telling us to commit terrorist crimes. It has almost been 15 years since the 9/11 attacks, and instead of this problem slowly fading away, the terrorist attacks have made it a lot worse. With how popular social media is within our society today, I personally cannot go a day without hearing about a hate crime that happened to someone because, again, they look like the American definition of a terrorist. These acts are becoming personal to many of us, so we, as an MSA, have decided to show you not only what our thoughts are on this matter, but also to educate you on who is a Muslim, why we shouldn't be facing this discrimination, and hopefully to bring an end to Islamophobia. Thank you.
I start in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. In recent times, as throughout history, some politicians have used the fear of the masses to gain support and voters. These same politicians have suggested laws that single out a marginalized group. In extreme cases, this has led to some of the tragedies of the early 20th century. It is often through their rhetoric that people develop irrational phobias, which convinces compassionate people to take xenophobic stances. This is not who we are. This is not what America was founded on. So we must fight this us versus them mentality that threatens to destroy us as a society. This can only be done through education, as one learns the fears of the unknown fade away. Islam is a diverse religion of 1.7 billion people, with 1 in 5 people being Muslim. The teachings of Islam condemn violence, so much so that cutting down a tree or even burning a hive of bees, even during wartime, is prohibited, for they may produce good for others one day. Islam states that there is a reward in serving anything living, whether it is a tree, an animal, or a human being. The tenets of Islam directly contradict the actions of Daesh. It is taught in Islam that whoever kills an innocent will never even smell paradise. Once you learn all these truths and evidence, you see the evidence, you can clear up the misconceptions. And if you ever have any questions about Muslims, you can just ask me or my brothers and sisters sitting right here, for they're your brothers and sisters as well. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In Arabic, this phrase means peace be upon you. And this is exactly the point of our talk today, peace. After the attacks in Paris, ISIS or Daesh released a statement explaining their intent behind their aggression. To paraphrase them, their hope was that these attacks would cause America and other Western powers to further alienate their Muslim brothers and sisters living alongside them. They wanted discord. They wanted to jam a wedge further between us. In the weeks since the attack, politicians, particularly on the right, have seamlessly added Islamophobia into their rhetoric. Some have spoken of instituting ID badges that would be a requirement for Muslim Americans. Since the attack, both Canada and Switzerland have both seen large movements to ban the hijab or the Islamic headscarf. If the Western world continues to push its devoted Muslim citizenry to the margins, we will be giving Daesh exactly what they want. Siena College is a Catholic institution. One byproduct of this is that as a community, Siena hopes to embody the teachings of Jesus Christ. It may come as a surprise to you that this is not inconsistent with the teachings of our own religion, Islam. To us, Jesus Christ was an important and God-inspired prophet. Considering this, let's remember what this amazing man taught us. As I love you, so you must love one another. There's no second half of this sentence. There's certainly no love one another but Muslims. The war we fight with Daesh is not just one with guns and bombs, it's a war of ideals. We win this war of ideals by doing what Daesh cannot, by rebuilding with love what they have knocked down with reckless and blind hate. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Translation of that means peace be upon you all. I'd like to say today that as a Muslim today in America, speaking for all Muslims, we feel just as horrible as you guys for all the violent terrorist attacks going on around the world. And honestly, I'm saddened to say that we have come to a point where these innocent Muslim students behind me feel obligated to stand out and say that they are against groups like ISIS. We condemn groups like that because of the ignorance of people around the world. And we don't want people to think that we are bad people, oppressive, violent people, just because of certain groups like ISIS that make our religion seem like a terrible religion. Yet it's a religion that was rooted in peace, it's a religion where we took care of our prisoners, a religion where we lived in coexistence with Christians and Jews. Asking Muslims to be responsible for terrorism is like asking Christians to be responsible for the KKK. Obviously, both groups aren't representing the religion the way it's supposed to be. And one of the main things I want to bring out today is that we have people on campus, citizens in America, and people that we live with side by side daily that literally think that all Muslims are terrorists or violent people, oppressive people. There's a student from Siena, a girl that attended the mall with her mother, and she was wearing the hijab, what Mary wore, which is a sign of obedience and a sign of modesty. And as she walked past someone, the person said, "Why does Siena accept terrorist people?" equating terrorism to all Muslims. I really want people to understand that Islam is a religion of peace and that it's not okay to assume that everyone is a bad person. And that if you want to look at Islam and learn what Islam really is, look at our Prophet, peace be upon him, when he says, "None of you are truly a believer until you love for your brothers and sisters what you love for yourself." And in this context, brothers and sisters means humanity. And it is the essence of humanity to love each other. And that is the only way to truly find peace and happiness in this world. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sarah Khan. I'm a senior at Siena College. I'm a Muslim also. We hope that everything my peers have said have cleared any misconceptions that you guys may have had about Muslims, Islam. At the end of the day, the media is really not on our side, and we want you guys to be active consumers of the media and educated consumers of the media, so that when you see, a brown person with a beard, Paris attacks, ISIS, terrorism, Muslim, that you guys are smart enough to know that Muslim and terrorist are not synonyms at all. If you guys want to know who a Muslim truly is, what Muslims truly represent, look at me and look at all the people behind me. We are real American Muslims. And the terrorists, ISIS, have nothing to do with our faith. And we really want you guys to understand that. Muslims and non-Muslims just as equally want ISIS to be destroyed. We are just as anti-terrorist as everyone else in this room. So, if you have Muslim friends, judge your perception of Islam based on those friends. If you don't know any Muslims, get to know some. If you don't know what a mosque is like, visit a mosque. It's a really beautiful, peaceful place of worship. So this video we prepared for you guys is a minute long. It's part of our campaign, which is I'm Muslim and I'm not a terrorist. And in the video, we just hope to show you guys that Muslims are just as American as everyone else in this room. We listen to the same music, and that we're not terrorists, and that we're all equal and supportive in this fight against terrorism. Thank you.
peace be upon you.
I'm Muslim and I'm strongly tolerant. I'm diplomatic and amen.
I'm Muslim and I'm not round. I'm golden.
I'm Muslim and I like to lie.
I'm Muslim and I respect and I think everyone. I'm Muslim and I encourage Islam policy.
I'm Muslim and I like Christmas music. I'm Muslim and I go to Catholic school.
I'm Muslim and I love performing on stage. I am not Muslim, but some of my best friends are. I am not Muslim, but I am part of MSA.
I'm Muslim, but I'm all about the games. I'm Muslim and I'm a feminist.
I'm Muslim and I gotta catch them all.
I'm Muslim and my best friend is Christian. I'm Muslim and I love French cinema.
I'm Muslim and I hate ISIS just as much as you.
I'm a friar, but I love Muslims.
I'm a Muslim and I love friar.
I am not Muslim, but I stay with all Muslims.
I am Muslim and I'm not a terrorist.
I hope you guys learned something today. Within the past 15 minutes, hopefully you learned something. Thank you all for coming out and enjoy the rest of your day.